Midnight. The office was dim, city lights glowing through the windows like distant witnesses. My heart thudded violently as I stepped into her office. Lila stood by the glass wall, back to me, wrapped in the city's neon light. She turned slowly, a soft smile curving her lips. "You came?" I asked. "I hoped," she breathed. She crossed the room, eyes locked on me, as if she'd waited her whole life for this moment. When she reached me, her hands rose to my face, thumbs brushing my lips gently. "This scares me," she whispered. "Me too. But I'm more afraid of never knowing what this could be." Her forehead pressed to mine, her breath shaky, her lips inches. I kissed her first this time, and she melted. Her hands slid around my waist, my fingers tangled into her hair as our bodies fit like a secret puzzle. We kissed like time was collapsing around us, like this moment was the only one we'd ever get. But then, the door handle turned. Ava walked in. Time froze. Lila pulled away too late, our kiss still visible on her lips. Ava's face emptied of all emotion. Cold. Deadly. "So this is why you've been staying late." She didn't yell. That was worse. "Lila, we have a marriage, a company, a reputation." Lila stepped in front of me protectively. "We had a marriage," she corrected. "Not love." Ava's jaw tightened. "And you're willing to throw your life away for—" She glanced at me like I was dust. "For her?" Lila didn't hesitate. "For us." Ava laughed, bitter, wounded. "You'll regret this." "Maybe, but I'll regret it more if I stay." Lila intertwined her fingers with mine, firm, unshaken. "We're leaving." Ava's voice cracked for the first time. "You're not thinking straight. You need me." Lila looked lovingly into my eyes. "No, I need her." We walked out, hand in hand, past security, past the life she was supposed to live, past the lies. Outside, rain poured like the sky was pleading with us to stop. She looked up, laughing breathlessly. "We're really doing this," she said. I took her face in my hands, rain dripping down our cheeks like tears. "No turning back," I said. "No more hiding," she whispered. Our kiss under the rain was messy, desperate, beautifully real. Cars rushed by, city lights blurred into magic. The world didn't stop for us, but we stopped for each other. Months later. A small apartment, cozy, imperfect, ours. Morning sunlight spilled across tangled sheets, where we lay, bare skin against bare skin, safe, loved. Lila brushed my hair back, smiling sleepily. "Do you regret anything?" I said. "Only that we didn't do it sooner." She kissed my knuckles softly. "Thank you for saving me." I shook my head. "You saved yourself. I just held your hand." Her eyes shimmered. "I love you," she breathed. "And I'm not afraid anymore." We weren't supposed to fall in love. We weren't supposed to run. We weren't supposed to win. But we did. Because sometimes forbidden love isn't wrong. It's just braver than everyone else.
The office building always felt different after 8 p.m. Too quiet, too expensive for someone like me. I was just an intern, a temporary shadow among glass walls and designer furniture. My name is Harper, 22, communications student, always trying to prove I belong. Tonight, I stayed late finishing a stack of reports the CEO had tossed onto my desk with a casual, "Before morning, please." I sighed, rubbing my eyes, when the door to the private executive floor clicked open. She stepped inside. Elena Sinclair, 40, the CEO's wife. The kind of beauty that made the air feel warmer, darker. She was rarely in the office, but when she was, everyone noticed. Black heels, red lipstick, confidence like a storm. Her eyes found me across the room. "Oh, you're still here?" she asked, surprised but amused. I stood quickly. "Yes, ma'am, just finishing the marketing briefs." She smiled in this slow, devastating way. "Don't call me ma'am," she said, walking closer. "It makes me sound ancient. Elena is fine." Elena. Her name alone felt like a touch. She placed a folder on the CEO's desk, her husband's desk. "You work harder than half the executives here," she said, leaning against the glass wall. "He doesn't appreciate that." I didn't know what to say. The CEO was distant, cold. We barely spoke. But Elena looked at me like she saw everything I tried to hide. My ambition, my fear, my longing to be noticed. "You're very dedicated," she added softly, her gaze lingering just a second too long. "And very beautiful when you're focused." The heat rose to my face. I laughed nervously. "I don't think beauty is part of the job." "It should be," she whispered. She glanced toward the hallway. Empty. Cameras off at night. She must have known. She moved closer and closer until I could smell her perfume. Warm vanilla with something expensive and forbidden. This office can be so lonely at night. My heart raced. "You shouldn't be here alone." "Then stay?" The words slipped out before I could stop them. Her eyes softened. Surprised. Like maybe no one had ever dared to ask her that. She reached out, slowly, brushing a loose strand of hair from my face. Not an accident, not professional, intimate. "I'm married," she breathed, but it sounded like a confession she wanted forgiven. "I know, but you're here. With me." Her fingers lingered on my cheek, her wedding ring cold against my skin. I leaned in. Just a little. She didn't pull away. For one impossible second, I believed she might kiss me. But she stepped back, breathless, shaken like she'd almost let something dangerous happen. "I should go," she whispered. "Elena!" I started. She turned, lips parted like she wanted to say more. Instead, "Good night, Harper." I watched her walk away, heels echoing down the empty hall, leaving the air charged with every word left unspoken. I wasn't sure what had just happened, but I knew this. Whatever line she almost crossed, I wanted her to cross it again. Her perfume still lingered on my fingertips long after she let go of my chin. I spent the entire next day replaying the moment, the closeness, the spark, the danger of it. I barely slept, terrified and thrilled all at once. Why me? She was powerful, married, untouchable, and yet she chose to flirt with the girl who delivered coffee. When I arrived at work, my heart dropped. Lila was already there, sitting behind her wife's desk, her legs crossed, elegantly, confidently, staring at me like she'd been waiting. "You're early," she said. "So are you," I replied, quietly. She smirked. "Maybe I just wanted to see you walk through that door." Every syllable felt like a secret. She stood up and walked toward me with slow, deliberate steps. Her heels echoed across the office floor like a countdown.
Did you think about last night? I swallowed. Maybe. She leaned close enough for her breath to brush my cheek. I thought about you, she whispered. My knees nearly gave in, but just then, the office door handle rattled. Lila's expression hardened instantly. She stepped away, slipping into the CEO persona like a mask. Her wife entered, Ava Coleman, the CEO, a woman with sharp eyes and a colder reputation. Morning, Ava said, barely glancing at us before tapping her tablet. Lila, ready for lunch with the investors? Of course, Lila responded smoothly. I was just helping the intern get settled. Ava finally looked at me, suspicious, analytical. You, she pointed. Fetch my schedule printout now. Yes, ma'am. I rushed out, lungs shaking. When I looked back, I caught the tiniest glance Lila gave me, full of apology and desire. Later that night, the office was almost empty. I was finishing up when a coat gently draped over my shoulders. I turned, startled. It was Lila. Her fingers brushed the sides of my arms, soft and intimate. You'll catch a cold, she murmured. It's late, I said. Why are you still here? Her eyes softened, vulnerable for the first time. Because I didn't want you to go home before saying goodnight. My heart punched inside my chest. You're married, I reminded her, voice barely a whisper. She stepped closer, and yet no one has made me feel alive in years until you. Her hand slowly slid down my arm, a gentle confession in touch. Tell me to stop, she breathed against my lips. I should have. I could have. But I didn't. Instead, I whispered, I don't want you to. She kissed me. Soft at first, questioning, then hungrier, all restraint gone. My hands tangled in her hair as she pinned me gently against the wall, our bodies molding like they were always meant to. When we finally parted, breathless, foreheads touching, she smiled, a little sad, a little wild. This is dangerous, she said. I know. And you're scared? Terrified, I admitted. Her thumb stroked my jaw. That means it's real. The elevator dinged somewhere down the hall. Lights flickered. Someone was in the building. We separated instantly, hearts racing. But as she walked away, she whispered something that would change everything. Tomorrow, my office, midnight. She didn't ask. She wanted me. Enough to risk everything. And, God help me, I wanted her too.